Hello everyone, welcome back. The Low Blood Pressure Podcast, we're back. I'm here, this is Angus talking. I'm here with Rohan, Mars, Harry, you're all here. I hope you all had a good Christmas, nice New Year. So we're back, it's the 3rd of January today, I think. 3rd?
4th.
4th. I lose track of time during the holidays, most.
The advent calendar's gone, so you just need the time.
So, what we'll be talking about today, so you probably have seen, a lot of people have seen it, even my mum saw about it.
Really?
Yeah, put down the chat.
If you haven't seen, where the hell have you been?
Yeah,
it's everywhere.
Yeah, basically, Logan Paul, we all love him. He went...
I wouldn't like to dislike someone if I love him. Jesus Christ.
He went into a forest in Japan, at the foot of Mount Fuji, is it? It's basically renowned to be like a suicide forest. Lots of people go there to commit suicide, basically what it is. So it's not, already you can see it's not an appropriate place to go and film a video, is it?
For children. For me, it's for children.
Yeah, look at his audience. Look at his audience.
I'll go into that
they're
later.
all like
He says it
10-year-olds
later.
and things.
I think go through the story chronologically, and then we...
Anyway, so he goes out there. He wants to camp out and film a video. There is the idea. And that's what the video is. It's just we're talking about it now.
It's just the biggest load of rubbish I've ever heard.
You're talking about it. You're just thinking, what was he doing? Like, seriously, what the hell was he
funny,
doing?
he seems really excited. Like before he goes in.
He's really excited.
We'll talk about it.
He's really excited to go in there. And so he goes in there with his film and everything, and shock horror. He sees a dead body hanging. So when you see a dead body, you think,
It's horrific.
What's your first reaction when you see a dead body?
You don't do what he did, which is he went up to it and he filmed it. And
Got
he was
close.
his
cameraman said, "Let's get the camera. Let's go.
Yeah.
Not, let's go away.
Yeah.
Let's go film it."
Go film it. That was his first thought. I'm sure we'll discuss why he did this later. And so he goes up to it and films it, and he's standing there. He's laughing. But the laughing, I wouldn't get so angry about the laughing because it's just a reaction.
Yeah,
exactly.
You don't know how to.
He shouldn't be making jokes, but
you don't know how
laughing
to
because you don't know how to react to it. So he's in shock, obviously.
But you say you don't know how to react to it. You don't go up and film it and make
he
something of
He
it.
should have walked away, obviously.
It's nothing to do with him. All he has to do is inform people and, take appropriate action. What you don't do is stroll up to it and start filming it constantly.
Yeah, so
There's absolutely no need for it.
So he did that, and he decided to release the video, and there was...
So that's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
How can you go away, right? He's watched back everything that he went and recorded that day. How can not a single thought go through his head? This isn't a great idea.
I think he
This
tried
isn't
to
gonna be well received.
mask it with the intro, but to try and cover it up, and it just failed. I think people saw through it.
Of course it did.
Because he starts the video and as a particular commentator said, that doesn't cover up for what you're about to do.
He got absolutely ripped apart, essentially. He got absolutely ripped apart on Twitter, quite rightly. People were in uproar about it. It was pretty extreme. I haven't seen people turn on someone so popular.
Deserved.
So quickly, and so many people, all types of people. People don't even watch him. Piers Morgan will get onto him. Piers Morgan made a tweet about it. Loads of people were tweeting about it. And, obviously we think it was quite justified, which we'll go into later.
Of course it was. Goose, he still benefited from that video. His previous video before that got 3.7 million views, right?
Yeah.
This current one is up to 7 million.
And that's
as it
before it got
stands.
taken down.
No, it's what
It was up to 7 million, right?
Yeah, it was.
But anyway, so after the video was put up and he saw people, he released a pretty awful Twitter apology.
It was.
He made it about himself, and we'll go on to that later as well, I'm sure. He didn't talk about the actual victor, the actual guy who committed suicide once in the whole apology on Twitter. Clearly hastily put out, not well received either. And then he released a video on YouTube which was slightly better.
It couldn't be any worse, could it?
I don't think we should go into his video apology right now, but I think his video apology was actually very good, I'm afraid. But you can argue whether it was superficial.
So what?
Well, I think the thing was, so he does...
Quickly moving on there, Miles, it doesn't mean anything.
The thing with him, I actually don't think he meant any harm. I just think he's a bit of an idiot. I genuinely don't think he considered it properly. I think he genuinely just made a mistake because
He's one of the most
just doesn't
selfish
get it.
individuals I've
He's
ever
just
seen.
stupid.
Angus,
No, he's
though,
selfish.
I would agree, but if you saw his cameraman or producer or whatever put out an apology as well, and he explained that they went over for hours on end, like his quote, hours on end, and I think if you're on YouTube, we can put this up, and they discussed for hours on end, and they still put it up.
I think
Like how can you discuss it and still think that's a good idea?
Right? If he's put that up and he's seriously considered it, then he's an idiot.
Exactly.
If he honestly, seriously thought about whether I should put this up or not, and then he came to the decision I'm going to release this, then he's an idiot.
Exactly.
And he's selfish.
Yeah. So
he only thought about himself.
he's an
and
idiot.
releasing that
we
video.
slate him, and the video went up, and my brother told me about it before the opera happened, because it was quite interesting, because the video went out and his fans watched it, and then it's kind of like it snowballed, and everyone else found out, and then the opera absolutely happened.
3 o'clock in the morning, Goose.
Yeah, it came out. Obviously, it came out his American time, and I was still out. I was jet lagged.
He's a bit
actually,
jet
from
lagged.
holiday. Harry was still up as well for some reason. I don't know why Harry was awake.
I don't know what I was doing.
It was about 2:30. I put on the group chat. Have any of you guys seen this Logan Paul thing going on?
Yeah.
Because I don't take much interest in Logan Paul. I can't stand him really, but I think
No, you wouldn't watch any of his videos.
No, I don't watch any
It's
of
such
his
a
videos,
young
Charles.
audience he aims at. I
but
mean,
just
No, but the thing is, the audience is young, but some of the stuff him and his brother do, as children's entertainers, for me, it's just unacceptable.
Yeah,
it's
it's
terrible.
ridiculous. Right.
the diss tracks, in my opinion.
The diss tracks.
Dear.
but let's not talk about that yet. This is quite a serious issue.
Yeah, I know.
So, I mean,
Who's got anything they want to say? Rohan, you've been quite.
you have been quite quiet so far, Rohan.
It's because
Out of
I've-
character,
I've-
out of
saving it up.
kilter.
He's saving it up.
I've been bottling it up.
Fury is raging inside him.
I've been bottling it up because I think Logan Paul is the biggest coward of all time. Like, how?
I thought you were going to use another word
Yeah,
there.
I'm just a coward.
I was on the verge. But anyway,
Don't hold back.
anyway, he's how much of an idiot can you be? Like the fact is that he was also wearing that stupid hat as well at the same time. Goes in,
No, but
cracking
that's the
to it,
thing,
zooming in and
the-
out. Like
the biggest
what,
thing-
What are you doing?
The biggest thing is he seemed to make light of it at the beginning. You could see like the excitement glinting in his eyes. He's grinning away. He clearly knew he was going to benefit from this video. Otherwise,
Yeah.
why would he have released it?
Yeah.
He's a
Also-
selfish individual.
Also, how much?
There is no way he released that video to raise awareness. We'll get onto that in a minute, but there's absolute. I don't buy that for a second. It's a
Yeah.
complete cop out of an excuse.
Exactly. How much of a coward can you be to he probably realised it was pretty serious, and then to just put in at the start, I'm raising awareness. No, you're not raising awareness, are you?
It's like what Sam Pepper did. Don't you remember that when he filmed that video of him like pinching girls' bums?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm raising awareness for sexual harassment against men.
The thing is, this
So,
is
all right.
this.
But do you know what it is?
my
He's
God.
deluded because he thinks he can put that in at the beginning, and then suddenly, do you know what? Everyone understands it from my perspective. It's all right from my perspective. Just got to throw that one in there, guys. He just thinks if I put that apology in there at the start, everything will be all right. Everyone will understand my reasons for releasing this video, even if they are his reasons, right? Which I honestly do not believe they are. I
No,
think he's a
of course
selfish,
not. There's no
ignorant
way.
individual. But even if they were his reasons, people aren't going to see it like that. Pretty much no one has seen it like that, right? Because
Apart
if
from
you,
his fans.
no, but I think
dearie me.
I said this at the time. I think if his honest intention, right, was to raise awareness,
You would not do that.
you wouldn't film it, would you? You
not
wouldn't
do that,
film
no.
what's going on at the time and pretty much shame the guy, anyone related
and make
to
a
him,
joke out of it.
associated
Make a
with
joke
him.
out of it.
If
What you do, Goose, this is my opinion. If he's trying to raise awareness of it, he would react to it calmly when he's
Next
had
day.
time to reflect on it, and he wouldn't be filming the guy. That's just my opinion on it.
Also, he keeps going on about how he tried to raise awareness and stuff, like in his Twitter
It's a cop-out.
apology. But did he actually do anything to raise awareness? Did he
No.
donate to anything?
Casey
Or-
Neistat put this
What?
tweet. I saw you like this. He said,
like
if he
it.
was
I like that as well,
honestly
I like that as well.
trying
Yeah,
to raise
yeah.
awareness, what he would then do is he would go and donate to like suicide charities or something like that, because that would show that his intentions. He's making good of an actual bad situation he's got
Now,
himself into.
I agree, and that leads very nicely onto the next point, which is others' reactions. This is the biggest uproar I've ever seen out of a YouTube controversy. It's trumped an uproar of anything PewDiePie's ever done.
Well, they absolutely slaughtered PewDiePie, and maybe quite rightly for the language he used.
The thing is,
But
I think
however,
when
what
he said
did,
the
if you
N-
compare it to this, I wouldn't put it on the same scale. I have to
No,
be
but-
perfectly
No,
No,
when he
honest.
said the
I
N word,
agree.
that was bad, but it was
That is
really
bad, but
Not on the same
But
scale.
that was
No,
I think
it
that
was
was a
before
genuine,
then.
honest mistake.
This,
This-
he tried to pass it off as a genuine, honest mistake, but you
But
can
it's not,
see
is
through
it?
it if
It's
you have
not.
even a single
No, he
brain
didn't.
cell,
No, he didn't.
which his fans clearly don't, so they think it's an honest mistake. They're blinded by ignorance, but you can clearly see he's just tried to cloud it with, I was trying to raise awareness. Put out these that Twitter apology is potentially the worst apology I've ever seen. He
He
made
makes
it all
it about himself.
himself.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's a selfish individual.
He does, but then in the the video apology, which is much better, he does say...
Because he released that he had so long to look at
That was
people's
written by
reactions to
management,
it.
for sure.
And what he did is he thought, I've seen how people have reacted to this, I see how they're feeling about this, how can I put out an apology which I think will be well received?
His manager's definitely...
He wasn't honestly sorry, I don't buy it for a second.
It's important to know that Logan Paul, he acts in movies, he's an actor,
Yeah.
and so that apology could be very, very superficial.
He doesn't say, he doesn't try and make any more excuses for it, he kind of says, I made a mistake.
I think...
I'm not, he was like, don't...
There is no excuse.
What he said to it, he even said, to my fans, don't try and defend me.
That was a good thing.
I haven't seen, I don't normally see people do that, actually.
No.
Well, the thing is, this has been an uproar, and there's been some very interesting reactions to this controversy. Some people have made very good points, a lot of which we probably would have come up with ourselves, but a few of which have been very interesting.
It's very
So,
easy.
But the thing is, hold on a minute, Buzz. I just want to. It's funny you mentioned Logan Paul's fans, Goose, and how they have tried to defend him and how they are delusional in how they tried to defend him. So I think we've all got a couple of tweets we're going to read out. So I've got one here. This is in response to a tweet basically slandering him for filming the body, and this tweet reads, "He could use that for evidence for the police, and he didn't know how to handle the situation." And at least he blurred out the face.
That actually angers me so much.
Right.
Because
First thing, right?
Evidence.
Evidence.
Oh,
Right. What has he filmed in that video that any police officer or even anyone just stumbling across that is not going to see? He's not proven anything. Right? I don't want... Listen, it's horrible, but it's obvious what's happened, right? He hasn't proved anything by filming that.
What do you need evidence for?
What's this
seriously,
evidence
what
all
do you need
about?
evidence for?
But this is a typical example of a delusional fan. He could do anything. He could go and kill someone, right? And they'd be like, oh, well, there was obvious reasons for it. It had to happen. They are delusional. He has a very young audience who don't seem to understand sort of the gravity of a situation
For me,
like this.
the biggest thing with this is his audience. His demographic is very young children. And there's a point in the vlog, right, where he says this, look, there's children about. Imagine if they were to stumble this.
Oh, he didn't
Later he
care.
thinks, I'll just upload a close-up to all my millions of children fans.
Complete contradiction.
It's ridiculous. He says
He
in the
doesn't
video,
care.
he
He
says,
doesn't
imagine if these children were to come across this body.
doesn't.
He
Right.
has presented a close-up HD video of this to millions of children. And I've seen a video of a kid crying.
absolutely agree.
He is definitely scarred.
But the thing is, you go on with this tweet, he didn't know how to handle the situation, right? I accept that,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
Listen, you wouldn't wish that situation upon anyone.
He handled it wrong.
No, exactly, that's
He
the point,
still
isn't it?
didn't
though?
understand.
How you don't handle it is walked up
Yeah,
with a camera,
yeah, exactly,
right?
yeah. Exactly.
And film the poor guy, right? Hanging from the tree. It's disgusting. It's not how you react.
It's the jokes as well. It's the jokes. He was
What
like,
you do, and he was laughing. How can you laugh?
He was
at
like-
that?
he was like-
listen. I understand his laughter might be like shock, right?
It probably
Why
was.
doesn't he edit that out? He goes away and he edits this video and he leaves that in.
He's not
He's
intelligent.
making himself look stupid.
Yeah.
he is intelligent, but he's also selfish for posting that video.
Oh,
There was no need for it to be posted.
it's the jokes as well. Like when he's like,
The only thing he's benefited from that is views. And he will get... I'm telling you now, he's not going to lose subscribers over
No,
this.
I've been
Not a
checking.
chance.
I've been checking his subscriber count regularly.
No.
It's actually gone up very
Yeah,
slightly.
it doesn't surprise me.
Didn't Jack make tweet that it was going down?
It was, but it just
has
went
gone
back
up.
up again.
It has gone up.
It's basically been like
Right.
it hasn't gone down though. That's the thing.
And at least he blurred the face out. I mean...
He barely
When-
did.
Oh,
You
my
can
He
still-
God.
you can still-
showed the entire thing.
You could still
purple
make out
hands.
facial
Did
features.
you see the hands?
And
Did you
his
see the
hands.
hands?
it was really.
The thing
not
is, that
nice.
doesn't affect me, but someone like, I know I've been told not to mention him, but our sound guy Christian, I sent him a picture of a dead bird and he was very angry. If he's seen this video,
It's
I'm
quite.
sure
It
he
is.
hates
No,
it.
it's a very disturbing image.
Yeah.
I mean, seeing a guy hanging up and purple hands.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Oh, that
It was-
so.
I mean, I'm fine.
disturbing.
I'm fine. I'm not particularly squeamish or anything. But
Yeah.
some people
are.
even his
Yeah.
audience.
But this is
If
the
Max,
thing.
if Max Stoll saw the video, he would
Yeah,
have
Max
hated
Stoll.
it.
But the thing
like,
is,
I'm not squeamish, but like it's sort of that like shock factor of that is someone real who's
Yeah.
like who's gone through that and like
Yeah.
and you see the hand. Yeah, it's not the fact that it's like so squeamish that gets me. I'm not really squeamish, but it's the fact that it's a real person that's
Yeah.
gone through that and that's a real person's hand. Like
I think anyone would be a bit disturbed by that. I
Yeah.
just don't
Yeah,
think
it's-
it's
no,
appropriate
exactly.
for such a young audience as well.
I
mean,
haven't seen that before. I don't think.
but like Miles said, he literally mentioned the fact that like a kid could stumble across that, yet he's going to publish it to his very young audience.
Exactly.
It's a complete contradiction.
Yeah. And then speaking of his audience, I've got a comment here from YouTube. We can put it up on on YouTube. If you're on there, it'll be on the screen.
Well, that's hard work for Chris.
Listen to this, guys. I support Logan Paul 100%. How can I unsubscribe if you don't even have subscribers? Low gang for life, bitch. Chill out. You probably just need some Maverick merch. Hashtag roasted. That was on Cavos's video, by the way.
You need some Maverick merch.
The biggest thing about that tweet, right? There is
It's
not one
It's
comment.
a YouTube comment.
Okay,
Yeah.
the comment, right?
They always
There's
want
not
to
one
leave it
thing there. He's not like justified anything that Logan Paul's done. What he's basically said is, if you don't have subscribers, then you're not allowed to think he's wrong with what he's done.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
That is the most delusional, washed up, clueless opinion that you're possibly going to get. I mean, I don't even know where to start with that. He's not presented an argument.
No,
what he's basically
not.
done,
He's
he's
not
just
got
gone
any-
abusive, right? And it just shows the true colours of Logan Paul's following. They're
don't
so
say the
washed up.
best,
on
don't
what
I
he
support
does.
Logan Paul 100%. He says he doesn't even
But
back
he doesn't
it up.
justify that, exactly.
He just said I support Logan. What? Because he just
Why?
blindly follows him because he's probably some kid.
Yeah, what's
Like-
his name? I don't know, don't tell me.
But why is he using...
Disagree.
Shame him, shame him.
No.
Don't.
And he's like, chill out.
Oh, chill out. Chill out just
I'm
gets me
sorry,
like,
but when someone tells me to chill
no.
out, it's like the most annoying thing.
Oh, have you
someone
seen,
can tell
I've
you.
seen this video where it's like, if chill out actually works.
It's not quite relevant, but when someone says, "Oh, just chill," it's fine. It's the most annoying thing I've ever
especially
heard.
in something as
They
serious
never
as
justify
this.
either.
It's just,
It's just something as serious as this. You
so-
can't
it's
just
so-
be like, chill
it's,
out.
It's so condescending. To say
No, it is, it
say,
is.
"Oh, you know what? It doesn't matter. Just chill out." We should not be chilling out about an issue like this.
Oh,
Because it's not
it's
something.
so
It's not like a light.
But he's
issue.
not even told us
Yeah.
why we should be chilling out. He's literally just
It's a-
giving
it's
this
a
like
serious-
order to
yeah.
us
It's a serious
without
thing.
any reasoning behind it.
I think that is a problem. People don't recognise how serious it actually is because
And think about it.
He
People.
has a young audience.
Yeah.
Listen, you can't blame them for not
it's
potentially
not even.
understanding.
It's not even the fact he's got a young audience. It's the fact he's got such a big audience. 15 million subscribers he's got, and he's put that video up.
An
there.
immature audience that puts
There's
at the end of their
definitely,
comments.
even if it's not a young audience,
He
it
has.
is an immature audience.
hashtag roasted at the end of that comment just sort of
What was I saying?
Listen,
typifies
look,
it.
if you enjoy watching his videos, right, then that's your taste, right? That's fine. I'm not asking you to unsubscribe from him, right?
You're a kid.
Although I definitely would, right? But the point I'm making is, if you honestly are coming out and defending what he's done, then your morals are incorrect. Because if you can't see that what he's done is completely out of order, then it's farcical.
I think they're just immature. to be
Even
honest.
like he's admitted that it's wrong. And still
Exactly, he doesn't want defending anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for comments like that to be placed on what I thought was a good video, I mean, it's just ridiculous. And we'll get on to that video, actually.
Yeah. I mean, I've got one tweet here now.
This is the
another
worst
tweet.
one.
For me, this is
Yeah.
the worst one
Yeah.
because it's a YouTuber. And, well, I'll let Rohan talk about it.
Well-known horrible individual.
All right. So this is from Tanner Fox, who tweeted, "People will just look for anything to complain about. Does it really affect anyone what Logan did? No, not really. Was it a bit messed up? Yeah. If you're bothered, don't watch the video. There's thousands of dead body videos on the internet. Move on." And that, oh my god,
There's
that
so much wrong with it.
angered me so
For a
much.
YouTuber to tweet that as well, again, to a wider audience, it's absolutely disgusting.
What I was trying to say earlier
Completely out of order.
was that it's not even the like demographic of his audience; it's the size of his audience.
For me, it's
The fact-
for me, it's the demographic.
No, Mark. The
The
fact he's got
significant-
15 million
that's
subscribers
right,
and
that's right.
he's a massive
That's right,
internet personality. He's a massive YouTube personality.
He gets the most
If he-
views out of any YouTuber.
Ultimately,
we
right,
always-
the fact is, we don't know statistically how old his audience is. You can guess by the content of his videos,
Oh,
but
no.
we do know.
No,
his
you can
following.
guess how old his audience is because if you've
But
seen
Miles,
the
there's
meetups,
statistical proving
We
of
always
his
say-
following,
we al-
15 million. If he's putting that out there to 15 million
We
people,
always say about these like YouTubers and not just celebrities in general, they have responsibility.
Absolutely.
They have responsibility. Now that they've got that sort of position, they have responsibility not to say or do inappropriate things because they're a role model.
they're supposed to be a
now.
role model, yeah.
And
That's
for
right.
him, a role model, he's got 15 million subscribers. Supposed to feel like that is totally inappropriate.
exactly.
And the fact that this guy here has said, does it affect anyone? And if you're bothered, don't watch the video. And people just look for anything to complain about.
Listen, all I'm going to say on this guy is, if you just watch his content, I mean, you wouldn't respect his opinion at all. He's a clickbaiter, which I have no respect for people who clickbait on YouTube anyway, right? But also, the way he behaves with his girlfriend is absolutely disgusting. So if you're going to value this guy's opinion, then you're absolutely deluded.
I
But
think
that-
disgusting. Can I just talk? So the Pauls, right? They've got a very young audience, and some of the stuff they did in their video, I watched a video today. Do you know what his brother Jake Paul's latest video was called?
No, I haven't.
I lost my virginity, and you should see the thumbnail. And this is going out to like 11-year-olds. 10-year-olds, 9-year-olds.
Yeah, but
it's ridiculous.
I don't know why you're surprised by what this guy does anymore. To be honest, this Jake.
I'm not, but
geezer.
I'm just saying that, like, the thing is, right, one of the nice things about YouTube is it's unfiltered and you can watch things at any time of the day, but traditional media, he's making content for people who should be watching CBeebies or CBBC with some content that would be on at like 10 o'clock at night.
Listen, we'll get on to Jake Paul. I probably, you could go to town
Jake
on the guy,
Paul's
but
done
let's keep it on topic at the moment. We'll keep it with Logan Paul and Tanner Fox. If I'm just going to sum this guy up, he's a joke. You shouldn't listen to anything he talks about. And I think in this tweet he's just shown his ignorance, right? He's a joker.
Also, one thing, when he says, does it really affect anyone what Logan did? I mean,
and he says no.
It doesn't. He doesn't have to get involved.
And well, obviously, clearly it does. It
really
people.
does.
And that can lead on
really
to our
does.
next person we'll talk about. And Miles will talk about him. But you can see this guy, how affected he was. Miles, you can talk about it.
Yeah, so we've talked about Tanner Fox is a joke. Some people, Stefano and Boyd, think if you watch YouTube, it's a crime. However, there are some creators who are absolutely
We enjoyed shredding you lads with these pickings.
And our whole
As always.
They
You
tried to
Italian. I think we know what's to follow there, Stefano.
I will hold my hands. I'm a bit of a fanboy of this guy. I'm a huge fan. True Geordie. He made I couldn't believe what I was
back
watching.
again.
He is back with a bang.
True Geordie back again. He made a video that was unprecedented, unexpected, and it blew up overnight as a result.
I've got to say though about that video.
We've got to explain it first.
Explain it first.
Yeah.
So True Geordie,
Hold on, why don't we just insert a little clip from it to just show how strongly he felt about what happened?
Yeah.
You fucking sick little fucking freak. Do you know that? Do you know how empty you are inside?
So obviously, as you can hear, strong words from the big man there.
And then he goes on to actually cry, which, I mean, it's brave, but I sort of think it's a bit pathetic, so I think he's overreacted there. It's very brave from him, but I think it's a bit pathetic and
so much
overreacted
respect
there.
for
Rohan, that is one of the most raw reactions you will possibly see to that. It was such an unplanned
Did
video.
you watch the whole video?
Yeah, I did.
How many YouTubers, especially one who's like 6'4", covered in tattoos, are going to upload them crying, their weakness? That shows you.
It's
That
very
shows
out of
you.
character, though.
That shows you.
That's
what kind of
brave.
person he
I
is.
I respect
that
that's brave.
character. I wouldn't need his appearance, but is that out of character from him? I've never seen him react like that before. He's normally, well, I mean, you saw in that clip. That's what he's normally
He's
like.
passionate, but his passion comes from sort of like more of an aggressive stance than like an emotional
to see
one.
him start crying, I was shocked. To see
I was
him
shocked
crying.
as well.
You
As a
could
fan
see
of
how
his.
strongly it affected someone like him,
Yeah.
and that's another thing. Logan Paul didn't consider the sort of effect that this could have on viewers
Yeah.
who had like a personal experience with that. If you have any quite a lot of people are going to have some sort of relation to suicide. It's horrible to hear, but
I'm lucky enough
it's just
not
a
to.
fact. I haven't either, and I'm very lucky to hear that. But the point is, he didn't even consider the effect that this could have on people watching his video.
And as Joey says, the way he's acting about it and just acting like it's just some like,
Just
not a big deal.
Water
just
off a duck's
passing off.
back. He doesn't care.
I mean, for someone that is like that, someone that is suicidal, to see someone acting like it's such a small deal, it doesn't matter. That's horrible.
But that's not what you want in society with what's actually going on with the amount of suicides like going up at the moment. And obviously we have foundations to help this, but if you just get people like Logan just palming it off like it doesn't matter, then that's not helpful at all. And he's not encouraging the right
One of the
reaction
things
from
True
his
Geordie
viewers.
said was how he didn't show the guy any respect and kind of washed over
course he
the
did.
poor man who.
Well, if he was going to show
so
him any
low.
respect, that video wouldn't have been uploaded.
To quote Tanner
Let alone
Fox,
film him, right? That's the worst part about it.
to quote Tanner Fox, does it really affect anyone what Logan did? To respond to his question, yes, it absolutely does.
I'd like to see Tanner Fox say that to True
ignorant.
Geordie's
Yeah,
face.
It's so ignorant to think
But Angus,
that.
if you watch his videos, you'd understand. He's the most ignorant individual I've ever seen. It's pathetic. So I wouldn't value that opinion whatsoever.
Yeah, but like in terms of True Geordie, I mean, it's definitely brave and fair enough. I respect him for doing that, but I think he did overreact just a touch because like he didn't really need to link it into like getting all the messages and things because I think that's a bit of an overreaction. It's immoral and stuff, but it hasn't really affected. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it has, and that's why I was crying. But he didn't talk about him. He didn't talk about it.
He's not really the
directly.
type to just make himself cry for views. He's a very honest, open fella. So
Well,
like,
he said that he's had those thoughts before.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, he did
Yeah.
say
He's
that.
had a
And
low.
so obviously
not done your research, Rohan.
Yeah, obviously he's obviously seen the video and he's made him think about when he was like that. So clearly it's been affecting him. And obviously, people that like that now would have the same effect on them. You'd imagine, because if it's had that effect on him, and the fact he said that he gets so many YouTube watchers that write him messages. So obviously these people will be watching that video, the Logan Paul one as well, because it was hard to escape it. Really, it was all over my Twitter feed, all over
you couldn't miss it.
Explore. It was everywhere. It was trending on YouTube, etc.
It was entered mainstream media.
Well, it's funny you mentioned the trending on YouTube, Angus, because I think we should get onto that actually just for a second.
Oh,
right?
YouTube
have really shown their true colours here by making this video #1 trending, encouraging people.
Well, no, it was number 10. It was number 10 trending. The original video's apology is currently #1 trending.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're still encouraging him to benefit from this with views, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Also,
now maybe they want people to see his apology video because maybe they think actually an apology is needed. But to make the other video number 10 trending, you're saying, right? That's not correct either.
Also, what's even worse is that YouTube basically when they have like when they want to flag a video as like being inappropriate, they have like this community of like trusted flaggers. So when they flag a video, most of the time it will be taken down just straight away if they flag it. However, if it's someone big like Logan Paul, they'll review it themselves. So basically, one of these trusted flaggers went up and flagged the video. YouTube go and review it. Don't take it down. Don't even age restrict it, and then put it on trending. Like how can you do those 3 things and not even consider it? And YouTube have watched the entire video and dismissed a trusted flagger.
I'd have banned him.
It makes you think that they have some sort of agreement, doesn't it?
They definitely. You're telling me they don't have an agreement with people like him, Jake.
No,
definitely special treatment.
Selfie days.
Special treatment.
Selfie days.
They handpick the creators they like a
£50 advent calendar.
Also,
Not going on to that.
also,
do you want to talk about that? What's a bit?
No.
Definitely
knows
not.
about it.
I think we can palm that off as a farce.
I saw it. Me and Christian saw it in Boots. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Did you buy it?
Of course I didn't. We took a photo. Didn't we?
Right, let's move on from
move
this
back.
shambles.
Move back, please.
I think like for YouTube to go through that many steps and not even age restrict it, the least you can do is age restrict it. Like there's definitely some sort of special relationship, and like they handpick their trending just to control whatever narrative they want.
Because he gets such massive views and attracts so many different types of viewers and so many people. I mean, that's why most of his videos are up there and trending. But they have to recognise this one isn't going to be appealing to the normal people that he puts his videos out to. So he should be nowhere near trending.
Also, I mean, Kavos made a really good point that like with the adpocalypse and stuff that happened in 2017, with advertisers pulling out, surely this is just going to make them pull out even more, and it's going to hurt the small creators, because Logan Paul, one of the biggest YouTubers out there, has completely messed up YouTube's reputation as a whole in mainstream media. Companies are going to pull out, and that's going to hurt the small creators, not the big one. You think Logan Paul's going to get less ad revenue? No, it's going to be smaller YouTubers, only with maybe a couple thousand, few hundred. Like, I just don't think it's fair that it's not fair on the community.
I don't think it's so much them. I think most of those sort of people are doing it like part time. It's people that are kind of halfway that do it full time but haven't got
exactly.
You can't sustain a living off it.
No,
exactly.
They will be affected by this video. And
most certainly. If all your eggs are in one basket and then suddenly it becomes harder, then you're in trouble.
There are some YouTubers.
It's definitely on
YouTube's
him.
a risky business, and
Of course it is.
there are some. If you're going to pursue YouTube, it's a risk. I don't think YouTube will last. No YouTuber lasts the test of time. Another YouTuber who made a video on the topic was one called Kavos, who many of you probably haven't heard of. However, the video he made rightfully blew up. I think it's currently on 12 million views, maybe.
Yes, on 12 million.
And he has 700,000 subscribers, so that's ridiculous.
Kavos is how you spell it, because some people might not spell it.
If I was to compare Kavos to anyone...
So if you don't have to spell it, Kavos.
Yeah, so Kavos, like I say, I would compare him to Harry, his most angry and passionate most of the time.
I don't sound anything like
No.
it.
No, you're similar
the
to
same.
Kavos.
No, Kavos is quite controlled in his slatings.
No,
Like,
in this video he is. In others, he gets very angry.
Yeah, especially in like his older ones. But like Kavos, I think rightly so, because he puts in a lot of effort into his videos.
Yep.
And some thought into that. I think it's quite deserved that his video blew up to 12 million, been all over the news. Like I think it was on
Mainstream.
like CNN Australia, like Fox America, all those kinds of things. I think he really deserves that.
So
kind of
anyway,
blow up.
Kavos is what's called a commentary channel. Basically, they talk about stuff that's happening in the YouTube community, if you call it that. And Kavos made some very good points, some of which we've already brought up. So what did you guys think of his video?
Oh, quality. I mean, the points that he made were really good, and I think like the fact that it blew up so much. I think if there wasn't a video like that, there wouldn't have been as much uproar, deservedly, against Logan Paul as there was. I think there was like 1.5 million tweets. I think a lot of that came from the 12 million views that Kavos got. Like,
it's the type of video you need on this, just sort of looking at his antics, looking at sort of what he was likely thinking, presenting evidence for that, right? His opinion, Kavos, and why he thinks that Logan Paul's out of order, which is sort of the opinion of a lot of people.
Yeah, and like he's done it on some other people, like for example Ellen DeGeneres.
No, I mean his videos are very good. Like the evidence he presents is very good. But
He's almost like a barrister, isn't he?
Yeah, but this one in particular, I think, is probably his best.
What was the Ellen DeGeneres one?
Oh, she basically
it's so horrible.
What she did is like at one of her like recordings. She brought up a stand being like, take one piece of merch each for free, and then she like recorded to see who took more than one, and then she like shamed one of the people who took more than one and just slated her for the entire like just kept making digs at her and just generally being rude. Like this is one of her
I'd
fans.
have taken more than one.
Yeah, same. I would have taken more than one.
She was
generally being really rude. No, she was being really rude.
It was horrible. It was
really
so
rude
to
one of
watch.
her fans.
I don't know him.
Who's paid to come. But I think that was really rude, and he was quite rightly so brought a lot of hate onto Ellen, which was deserved.
I think you can see from sort of what we've talked about, this is the sort of videos he brings to YouTube. So if you want to check him out, Kavos.
Yeah, deserves, definitely.
I think we'll link some of the videos we've been talking. If you're watching on YouTube,
yeah, we'll do that.
If you're watching on YouTube, Christian will link the video, put the links to the videos we've talked about in the description below.
So I think Rohan sort of touched on it. I think we should move on to sort of the uproar, particularly on Twitter, the sort of social media reaction to this. So obviously there was over 1.5 million tweets. He was trending number one, right?
Worldwide.
1.5 million tweets.
I've never seen so many.
Right,
Everyone
I don't
was
think
flying
we've ever
it.
seen an uproar on a platform quite like it.
Everyone
Really,
was
not
flying it.
not to do with YouTube anyway. Obviously, you see tweets.
Harvey Weinstein or something like that.
I mean, you just had to throw that in there.
It's funny because everyone's like, don't want to
It's not
laugh.
funny.
Oh, we got to cut that.
Stop holding back your laughter.
Right. Yeah, no, I get the point that he's making. I haven't seen anything as big as this, especially from a YouTuber as well.
Miles, will you shut it?
I'm just thinking of things. Sorry. Right, carry on.
Yeah, everyone was getting involved, you know. Piers Morgan,
Yeah,
your mum,
your
your
child.
I
mum.
mean, it's not like Piers Morgan's going to be watching his videos, but it is significant that even he's chiming up on it, and he's quite.
But he does love it, though, doesn't he?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
whatever you think of Piers Morgan, right? You know, he is very outspoken, and what he says is what he
One
honestly
word would
believes.
you use to describe Piers Morgan, Harry?
He can't say it.
Say it.
I think he's a bit.
It's not suitable for this podcast, Miles.
I think he's a bit of an idiot.
It's a cast podcast, you know.
I do like him. I do like seeing him getting absolutely ripped apart in debates. It's so funny. Have you seen him? I'm gonna say him in the Shapiro, but if in the gun laws thing, I mean, even though Piers is defending gun laws, and I agree with him, but he doesn't. He gets absolutely bollocks.
Don't pause it.
Mars. I mean, but to be fair, Piers does love to chime in on anything, which will get him a bit of
He
fame.
can't help himself.
No, but I do love seeing him getting absolutely ripped apart in debates. So funny.
Yeah, what was it, the Ben Shapiro?
Yeah,
one?
Ben Shapiro on gun laws. I mean, Piers is actually defending. No, not defending.
See, I actually agree with what he's defending.
Yeah, I agree with him.
But the way he presents
he just
it-
gets torn apart. He can't even defend.
He wasn't really
basic
best prepared,
like-
was he?
No.
I wake up to his sort of loud, obnoxious voice every morning on the ITV news.
You watch it?
I do, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, and I don't like his interviewing style particularly. I think
he's
it's
rude. He's really rude.
It's
Yes
rude,
or no?
But
Yes
more,
or no?
but
Yeah.
listen,
Yeah.
more to the point, he lets his own personal opinions influence the interview. So
Yeah.
he's trying to get his own
Yeah.
personal opinions actually into that,
So-
rather than getting the person
Yeah.
you've got on, asking them what they think, and then responding to that. It's him imposing what he believes, and then going, "How do you respond to that?"
I'd love
and
to
that's
see
not
him.
right.
I'd love
Yeah.
to see him interview Logan.
Yeah, but to be fair, he needs to be shredded, Logan Paul. So I wouldn't mind him going on. there and
Actually, to be fair,
getting rinsed.
Logan, I watched this interview they did on like Jimmy Kimmel, right? So I think it was like a couple nights ago. I just randomly watched it, and like he has done some really stupid stuff. I'm not surprised he made such a grave mistake.
What,
He,
like?
I've got an example. So he went to Italy, and it was Venice, Stefano's home. So if Stevie found out about this, I'm sure he'd be furious. And he went to Italy. You know, there's all these gondolas. Went onto like a really famous bridge, jumped into the river, and almost got hit. Hit by a gondola.
Yeah, I've seen that.
He goes to all these countries. He got like arrested by the Italian police because he flew a drone over the Colosseum, which is illegal because it could seriously damage it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is true. I'm a bit ashamed I know it, but it's true.
He was telling a story on Jimmy Kimmel about how he lost 15% of his testicle.
Moving on.
I'll just let that sink in for a second.
So this is, that's who we're dealing with here. I'm not particularly surprised hearing that.
Exactly. Exactly. So when I saw it, I think this was the night before that. Then that like this whole thing blew up. I wasn't really as surprised as I would have been because he's a complete idiot.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have expected it to come from Jake Paul more than Logan. I thought he was a bit more level-headed. However, am I surprised? Not particularly.
They're just the pair of them. I just don't like them.
Yeah, I mean, look, the way I see it, it doesn't surprise me coming from Logan Paul. I mean, I'd expect it more from his brother Jake. I think he's even worse. But at the same time, from what I know of his content, and I think he's an ignorant, arrogant, selfish individual, it doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, I mean, like both of them. Oh my god, they are.
Can I talk about Jake, please?
Yeah, I think we should move on. Actually,
so Logan, I always thought Logan was actually the sensible one. However, this trumps anything Jake's ever done. But some of the things Jake's done in the middle of California, which is notorious for wildfires, he fills his pool up with furniture, pours on gasoline, flames as high as a house. In the middle of summer in LA, let that sink in. He could have started a massive fire.
But that's not even the worst thing he's done. You see what he did to FaZe Banks?
Yeah, YouTuber, just a bit of YouTube beef, beefing. He accuses him of assault, wasn't it?
Yeah, so Jake Paul has his rather cringy team around him, doesn't he? Team 10. It's an absolute embarrassment.
God,
right?
There's one exception to the embarrassment. Nick Compton.
Nick Compton.
Yeah, okay, keep going, Harry.
So, what he basically does is, they're at a nightclub, some of them, right? And this YouTuber as well, FaZe Banks, he's there as well. And the way, from how I understood it, like, what Jake Paul tries to accuse this guy of is assault onto one of his assistants, like grasping
and
around
also,
the neck. Now, I can't remember the exact story. I can't remember if it actually happened, but like it wasn't deliberate or it just didn't happen at all.
I know too much, to be honest, about YouTube drama, and there was this so he has this assistant and she had a bruise, and the story goes, which has almost been proven now, is this girl, she had a bruise and Jake was like, FaZe Banks is in the club, let's pretend that he hit you and you got the bruise from him. And not only did he accuse him of assaulting a woman in a club, he also, completely wrongly, he's in a relationship with another YouTuber called Illicit Violet, and he said he just falsely claimed that he was like making out of a girl in the club, just trying to break him up on his girlfriend.
But what he did, what was embarrassing about this entire thing?
Yeah.
She loves this stuff. What was embarrassing about all of this is he got onto Fox News, right? Jake Paul, right? This girl, right, and one of her friends, they got onto Fox News with this story, right? And it shows how much of a sham Fox News is for a start, because it's completely made up. And also, what they tried to do to sort of prove this, Jake Paul and Logan made this video, right, where they got this police report, right, this random scrap piece of paper, right. He hands it to Logan, right, and this is another example of this idiot, right. He goes, "Oh yeah, it's real, right." Doesn't show it to the camera. It's just a scrap piece of paper, right. When the police and the nightclub were contacted for like a statement on this, never happened. Not real. Fake.
All fake.
Dear.
But this just shows, I think, that those two, they do anything for views and like success and money, and it's just not right.
I don't know why
They don't deserve it. Like Jake.
Of course they don't.
Like Jake Paul. Do you remember he made that? What was it? That video talking about bullying and stuff.
The reason Jake Paul's so famous is his song.
Stop interrupting Rohan.
Sorry, carry on.
Keep interrupting Rohan.
Don't cut. Carry on.
Sorry, Rohan. Keep going.
Alright, so Jake Paul, I remember he did like this video on like bullying and stuff, and talking about bullying's not right, I'm trying to fight against it. And then he was a child, he was a bully in his childhood. Yeah, he got called out for it, and like he just doesn't deserve what he's got. Like he's such a bad person.
Jake Paul is hilarious because he's literally the most stereotypical jock you will ever see.
Yeah.
He was a high school
Someone
bully.
described him as that.
If you
was
would
it
describe-
Geordie described him as jocks?
Well, yeah, but it's not original. He's just a jock. And there's so many other things he's done. I think we've covered some of them. One of them is he had these like Spanish people. And he basically bullied them, and then they ended up like leaving his sort of team, and it was just he's a bully.
So he's a bully and a racist. So not a very nice guy.
Oh, we haven't talked about that.
Pretty much sum him up.
Talk about the Kazakhstan.
Okay, so he's in California with this, and then this Kazakhstan fan, this young boy, sort of says something through the window, the car window that Jake Paul's in. His first reaction, instead of greeting the kid, pleased to have fans from abroad or whatever, he goes, "Are you sure you're not going to blow someone up?"
Oh man!
I mean, just to have that reaction, especially towards the kid. It's a young kid saying this, right? It's a kid who, in their right mind, possibly thinks that is okay to say to a young child.
And then he gets through all the edits as well.
And he edits it and he still leaves it in.
He still
This is
puts
what I'm
it
saying.
up. I just don't get it. He's just stupid. I don't know why he just embarrasses himself. Does he not realise when they're watching it back? Actually, probably shouldn't put that one up. That's not really appropriate. And he still puts it up. It's just so stupid.
Jake Paul is the example of a growing trend of people who, until recently, is there's no bad publicity. A bit like Trump. Jake Paul with his song, he just blew him up completely. This song he made.
Oh, it's terrible as well. I mean, but Nick Crompton is a legend.
Yeah, Nick Crompton's great.
Yeah, I like.
Yeah, I know Kester and Matt love Nick Crompton.
Do they?
Yeah. Right. Anyway, speaking of bad YouTubers, little segment we can do. Hi, who's your least favourite YouTuber?
I think the YouTuber I'm sort of most disgusted by, if you take the Paul clowns out of it for a minute, because I think we flogged them to death. I'd have to go with Daddy05. Now, it's worth pointing out he is an ex-YouTuber. His channel was quite rightly removed.
Disgusting. Yes.
What he did was horrible. Now, it's obviously in the title. He was a Daddy05. So you go into it and you think, okay, innocent enough. Maybe like a family vlogging channel, something like that. Nah.
And it's Coney Jolie's.
Yeah, I mean, I disagree with the whole concept of that, but like the point is, it's not nearly as disgusting as what went on here, right? This guy had 5 children, as I've mentioned. His videos were prank videos. Him and the kid's stepmom, his second wife, some horrible fat woman, right?
Not this again.
It's not fat shaming because
It's a description.
Well, it should be.
Why do we always end up abusing fat people?
Let me finish.
we should.
Let me finish. Have you seen these videos? Have you seen these videos?
I've seen some of them.
I've never
Right,
seen
okay.
them.
This woman is one of the most horrible tubs of lard I've ever seen. Right? She's nasty. She's a bully. Right? Now you don't really see much of the guy behind the camera, the dad, because he's the worst. Right? But the point is, what they did is they had this youngest child named Cody. I couldn't tell you how.
I feel so bad.
He's like no older than about 7 years old, I think. Right? And basically, all the pranks consist of them like basically bullying him. So, like, for example, what they did once is they went into his room, right, literally threw all of his stuff on the floor, trashed the entire place, and then, like, framed him and blamed it all on him. And the bit that annoyed me most at the end is he's like, you would though, wouldn't you? If someone comes into your room and, like, messes the whole thing up, right, and you know it wasn't you and you're blamed for it, I'd go mental enough if my room was, like, messed up anyway. But if someone's like, if you know it wasn't you and you're getting screamed at and shouted at for something you haven't done, you're not going to react well. He doesn't react well. He's 7 years old. Right? Yeah. The reaction he gives is one you'd expect, right? The dad goes absolutely ballistic at him, right? Wrongly, because he's all he's doing is defending himself, right? Yeah. So and then he goes mad, and then the bit that annoys me most at the end is he goes, right, you're cleaning this up. Literally this horrible, disgusting mess.
Yeah.
Right,
Did you tell him
in the
it's
room.
a prank?
No. He just left him to tidy it up.
No. It honestly makes me
It's just not
so
funny.
sad.
It's not funny.
It makes me so sad.
It's not funny. The problem is, people tune into these videos, they keep this channel running. Now, that's just one example of his videos.
Can you give me another example? Because I'm lucky enough not to know who this guy is.
Yeah, you're certainly fortunate. So another example of a video is basically the dad, he puts all this like washable ink, literally plasters the floor with it, right? And you don't have to be a genius to know who gets the blame for this again. It's Cody. Pretty much all the videos consist of him bullying, being abusive towards, like, he swears at him. He's 7 years old, I think, and he's literally shouting, he's swearing at him, he's physically abusing him, right? Blaming him for stuff he doesn't do. So he throws all this ink over the floor and literally, like, goes ballistic at him. Again, it wasn't him. Now, what is one of the most significant things is this channel got a load of backlash for what they carried out. They made a response video to it, okay? In this response video, it's the family assembled together, very scripted, right? And the dad goes, oh, I know it's ridiculous. And then the mum's like being sarcastic about it. And then the dad goes, everyone enjoys the pranks, don't they? Watch it very closely. 4 of them, who are in on the pranks, the older children, love it. 1 doesn't react.
They don't say anything.
Says nothing. Watch it back.
Yeah,
It says absolutely
I
nothing.
just feel so sorry for the kid, to be honest.
It's horrible.
Yeah,
It's
I
absolutely,
really feel
it's
bad.
vile. It's actually shame you. I've honestly always thought it's bad enough. Like family vlogging channels, I don't appreciate at all. I just think it's unnecessary to actually use your children to for success. Like something like that. It's just, especially at such a young age, they don't get a say in it. It's not right. But this takes it to a different level. To actually publicly shame your child and plaster him all over the internet, be physically and verbally abusive towards. It's not on. It's disgusting. Quite rightly, that channel was removed,
And kids have been
and the
taken
kids
away.
have been taken away.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel just,
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah. Is the
Really,
guy in
all of
custody or something?
I couldn't tell you that, but I know all
I
the
don't think so.
the mum of I actually think that the second wife they I think maybe 2 of the children might have stayed. Cody was his mum wasn't the actual mum who was with him. That's his stepmom.
His biological mother.
Yeah.
His biological mother went on CNN, right? And went
Yeah, I saw that.
absolutely ballistic about what had happened. Like they filed a court order and they had the child removed from the guy. Quite rightly as well.
Is that where they went, the biological mother?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
of them.
yeah.
Well, the ones who were with her, because I think the second wife, a couple were hers. But he's not fit to be a parent, especially putting that sort of stuff on the internet, where it's subject to a large audience who, it's just not right. Especially, I don't think it's right anyway, but the actual content of the video just makes it 10 times worse. It's just horrendous. And that's why he's the, even though some would argue his content might have been entertaining, right? Those type of videos, the ones that disgusted me most. So I'd put him as my least favourite.
Yeah.
And thank God he's gone.
Yeah, from my perspective, I'd say, in a way, that is actually maybe worse than what Logan Paul did, because that is your own child you're doing that to. I mean,
It's more thought out as well. That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
it's planned.
Things
I think that's worse than what Logan's
things
done.
that
It's just
happen-
Logan has a larger audience.
I think even
Yeah.
family vlogs, they're very well crafted to sort of get views. And this is just this is even worse. This is devious. This is cunning. How are we going to pull a trick on him today? How are we going to get more views? How are we going to shame him more so it goes all over the internet? How is this going to go viral? How can you possibly think like that as a father?
yeah, and from my perspective, I mean, the apology video as well. I don't understand their thinking through it, the way that they behaved in it.
You
And
can tell what's gone on. He's gone,
Yeah.
right, what's going to happen here is I'm going to call the shots. I'm going to ask you all. The videos are great, aren't they? Right? And he's probably
Yeah.
physically and verbally intimidated them into giving an answer.
Yeah, that apology video
Right.
proves nothing.
It
really.
proves... it actually proves even more
Well,
to
as
the
in,
point.
it proves that it doesn't show that the kids are happy. Is what I'm saying.
exactly, it
Well,
doesn't.
definitely
It
not
doesn't. It doesn't
Cody,
back up.
because he doesn't even go along with it.
It doesn't back up the parent stance. at
If
all.
anything, it makes him look worse. It's only detrimental towards him. So again, that wasn't thought out well.
Yeah.
And I'm to be honest, I'm relieved that a channel like that is no longer on the internet.
Also, I mean, from my perspective, one of the things that also annoyed
Stop.
me.
Right? Can you stop? Can you stop milking this?
Harry,
now?
fill the audience in. Fill the audience in.
Well, the reason Rohan is obsessed with, from my perspective, is if you've been listening closely to the last few podcasts, it is quite a common saying of mine.
You said it 3 times in a minute.
I say it 3 times in a minute.
It's so funny.
I've said it once today, so I'm toning it down a bit.
It's fine.
But from my perspective, stop mimicking me, Rohan.
It's fine, But from
This
my
is bullying.
perspective,
Stop now.
all right. But seriously though, one thing that also annoyed me is that the YouTube algorithms and things to put things at the top.
Yeah.
They exploited that so much because they're like a family vlogging channel or whatever. They claim to be that, so they put family friendly
Yeah.
whatever and just get straight to the top. And it's ridiculous.
The exploitation that goes on YouTube nowadays, it's absolutely ludicrous.
That's kind of the problem.
It's become so much more well thought out, your video. What it used to be is for example, someone sitting in a room recording a video, simple, bosh, on the internet. Now these people have teams around them, cunning, planning videos. How are they going to be well received? How are you going to get more views? How are you going to trick the algorithms into getting them trending? Get them on Twitter. Get them on YouTube as most popular. Get people clicking on them and watching them. It's become much more devious, in my opinion, and that's why channels like that are able to succeed.
I mean, it's also quite annoying because like, with like in the summer and earlier in 2017, like when all like these videos got demonetized and things, they try and put it that the advertisers are controlling them, and to a point that's true, but YouTube have got to take responsibility as well. That you can't have, for example, I mean, there's been like, for example, conservative videos being like age restricted and things, which they haven't even done anything, and then trying to promote family friendly in quotation marks content being pushed to the top, stuff like this, which is out of order. I think YouTube have got to take responsibility for that.
Right, anyway, I think that's a good place to end. So thanks for listening if you got this far. We're aware that some people may not have enjoyed this one as much because it's a bit of like a niche thing. Lots of stuff to talk about is a niche thing with like the YouTube. But I do think that some stuff about Logan Paul, I mean, got a bit of stick from some of our friends for talking about it on the group chat the other day. We mentioned about it. I do genuinely think that this isn't about YouTube. This is more of an ethical and moral issue. I mean, someone doing that, it doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't have to be a YouTuber for someone to do it, and we would still. Absolutely. People would still respond to it, but the fact he is a major YouTuber just makes it even worse, I think. Anyway, I think we'll stop there. I just want to say thank you, everyone, for listening.
Yeah.
Christian just told us before we start recording, we've got over 400 views across the two platforms and both the podcasts, which is pretty good.
Blown away by that, guys.
Can I say the support?
That's really good.
I know it's been a more serious episode, but the support has been amazing. Thank you. I'd like to shout out someone who didn't get a shout out. Rory O'Sullivan gave us some great feedback on the last episode, didn't he?
We're hoping for some more.
You have got your shout outs.
We're hoping for some more from Rory and for anyone. If you have anything you've thought about, it's just comment on the Instagram, comment on or just send a text to one of us
because it helps us improve.
It really helps. Anyway, so I think next week. We're coming out next week, maybe. We think so, yeah.
I don't know when we'll release it.
We're committed.
Yeah. What is going to be next time? Is George coming on?
Yeah. So we noticed you guys kind of the stories on the last podcast were quite well received. So what we thought we'd do, we've got some absolute corking stories from our old schools.
We're going to get George Brindley.
We're going to get George Brindley.
He went to school with Harry and
me and Miles.
So we've got Colfs, New Beacon and St Michael's, and these are the best stories that we collected from our times at our previous schools.
Yeah, so you've got that to look forward to next week. Anyway, wrapping up there. Okay, thank you for listening.
Yep, thank you.